Fighting games are what the why? Capcom, why?
Oh yeah, I forgot that happened in the past 2 weeks. Oh no.
Yeah. So the first FGA we did, like Alex had released like a couple hours prior, so people hadn't started
No, no,
talking
no,
about
no,
the
no.
story stuff.
I think the last FGA we did, Alex released like the day after or something like that. I forget.
Something like that. So it was just, hey, Alex looks cool. And other stuff has transpired since.
Yeah. So,
Boy,
I don't know.
yeah, how do you so surprise, Alex is incestuous. He's
Yes.
inbreeding.
He loves the Habsburgs.
Um,
Loves them.
yes. And he's doing it doubly so. Because
Yeah.
it's his adopted sister, but his biological second cousin. So he's doing it twice over. They made sure that even though it's the second cousin, you can say, like, okay, well, biologically, that's still pretty gross, but at least they're not, at least they're not really close and personal
Like
together. He's
it's
not taking
literally
advantage of
a
a sibling relationship.
second cousin, from what I understand, from what people have been like, from watching people's arguments. Allegedly, second cousin is like literally just like the step where if you do inbreeding, it will not have like it will not give the kid conditions.
Yeah, it's the bare minimum of what's acceptable. uh,
So yeah, the people have been rethinking their stances on Gil in light of recent events. And now
oh boy.
what happened with Alex. Like it's bad. But also consider this: Tom is in the game, and he approves of this.
Yes. Which that was funny. Did you read the hey, we fucked up with Alex, or excuse me, we didn't fuck up with Alex's story, but people seem to be misunderstanding the point of Alex's story. Here's a short story that will properly explain what's going on there. And it's just a short story that, while it does say, oh, hey, well, Alex didn't really know Patricia when he was a teenager. Other than that, their justification is, no, Tom approves. Like, that was the part that anybody had issues with.
Yeah, I didn't read it, but yeah.
And Tom says something along the lines of, it's great because he's like a son to me. He's not like a son to me. He is my son. And she's my daughter. And my kids, they turned out all right, and they're such a cute couple.
Real psychopath shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, anyway.
Oh boy. It's one of those things everyone and their mother has talked about it, so I'm not sure how much more we can say other than what the fuck.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's taking a character who no one cared about their story prior. Alex had a complete who gives a shit story by Street Fighter standards.
Now, okay. The funniest shit Capcom could pull, and they can't do this now. It needs to happen in the next game. But imagine if Alex comes back, and it turns out that Patricia wasn't like blood related to him, so he left her.
I see people saying, okay, they can't fix this, so what if Capcom decides to make it worse? Yes. Which, of course, I mean, that's I'm not really interested in this getting worse. This is already the worst. I know we're just having jokes and japes, but this shit's real to me, man. It's the first time anyone gives a shit about what goes on in Alex's story, and it's fucking disgusting, bizarro japes.
Yeah. But the numbers, they prove that this is Vincest. Because Street Fighter 6 has broken its all-time player peak on Alex's release.
I hope that Capcom execs aren't going, well, we added incest to the game, and the numbers went up.
The numbers don't lie, and they spell sister for normal relationships.
Oh shit. I saw the Super Best Friends. Good lord, yeah, they're back together. Didn't you hear? No, I saw Pat and Wooly of the Castle Super Beast talk about Capcom goings on with this, and Pat pointed out something that cracked me up. Resident Evil 9 heavily implies with an Easter egg or two that excuse me, that the next Resident Evil game to get remade is Code Veronica. Now, quick question. How much do you know about the villains of Code Veronica?
Nothing at all.
Okay. The villains of Code Veronica are two blonde English twins, a brother and a sister, who are incestuous, and it is not played up as a cool, warm, wholesome thing. It's like the Lannisters in Game of Thrones of, ew, disgusting, they're incestuous, what nasty, creepy weirdos.
Yeah.
So Capcom going from Street Fighter 6, where it's like, yeah, this is the best, this is the ideal, it means that they're close and that they have a friendly relationship, to Code Veronica, where it's, you nasty, kill them, is gonna be hilarious.
Yeah. I thought you were gonna bring up the fucking whole thing that people were having a meltdown about, of like, you know, if Alex got together with his cousin, then that means that Leon and Cheryl are together. Even though the director of the game, I think, came out and said, yeah, no, the wedding bed is because of Ada. Like,
oh, did he say it's Ada?
I don't think he outright confirmed it. I think he was like, you know, I'm not saying it's Ada, but you know, like just waffled around it, but pointing at Ada for some reason, particularly.
Okay.
So, you know, at least when it comes to the Resident Evil 9 game director, in his mind, it's Ada. Now, whether that will be canon or not going forward is the bigger question.
Yeah. It's definitely not Sherry. Sherry already has her love interest. People don't want to acknowledge her love interest because he's a lame edgelord dork, but Sherry has Jake Muller. I think his last name is Muller, who is notably not way older than Sherry and is in fact the appropriate age to be getting with Sherry. So, I have heard about people who didn't play Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 4 or Resident Evil 6 getting into Resident Evil 9 and going, oh, Leon and Sherry are so sweet. Maybe they're a couple. Of course, fundamentally misunderstanding, no, the reason Leon and Sherry are close is because Leon is about as close to a father figure as Sherry's had since her real dad turned into a goo monster.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. Ugh.
All right, let's see what other news there have been.
Let's see. Invincible versus an Avatar both had news. I know that.
Yeah, Tokon added a style meter, which I forgot if you talked about.
Yes. There is a great degree of curiosity about how effective the system is.
Yes.
There's something very funny about the decision, though, for a Marvel game that is not Marvel vs. Capcom to add a style meter.
Yeah.
Dante's not here, but his legacy is felt.
Yeah. Fatal Fury also added Azure Maria.
Oh, yes, Blue Mary, yes. And they also did confirm, yes, that was Kenshiro.
Yes. So nobody's surprised. Kenshiro
Is just that affordable.
Yep. Doesn't have a lot to do since Hokuto no Ken stopped, I think. I think it's over. I'm pretty sure it's over.
Oh shit! Is there anything going on with Control? Like any controversies or stuff going on? Because you're acting like there's something going on.
Oh
I
no,
don't recognize it.
no, I'm just forgetting like how long it's been since Fist of the North Star ended.
A long time.
Yeah. Like I think the last thing Kenshiro did, like the last thing Kenshiro was involved in, is he was at one point Kazuma Kiryu, and that's it.
Right, there was that, and he was also in Jump Stars or whatever, right?
Oh yeah, Jump Force.
Jump Force, right? Implying they're like the Avengers.
Yeah. Honor Knight 2. He's a new character.
What's that?
It's a woman in a cloak. She has
Oh, I
red,
missed this thing.
she has red lighting, which implies she's evil.
Oh, I see.
I'll send it in the voice text so you can look at her image. They uploaded this as a trailer for her, except this is OVC, so
Oh. Oh, I see. Is this like Nightmare Hildy?
I mean Hilda was already evil though.
Geese was already evil.
True. I don't think she's dead
This
though.
might be like
Is she?
Shin Hildy or something.
Maybe. All right, let's see. Blue Fantasy Universe is still supported. That's it.
Oh. Were people thinking, oh, well, Grand Blue Fantasy is done? What's
Hello,
going
Pink.
on there?
No. What?
Hello. What are
Hey.
you doing?
Pink, did you see me in Overwatch and go, oh, Addie and Alex are playing Overwatch?
No, I assumed you were doing fighting games are today.
Yes, we are.
Okay.
Is
Yeah,
it
we are
started?
doing FGA. I just happened to, in the background, be running. I found out about the shooting course to get better at aiming guns in Overwatch. I was like, you know what? That would be a brain dead simple thing to do with my hands and eyes while I'm actually focusing my brain on talking about fighting games. Practice McCree's gun.
Fair. Yeah.
Yeah. So we're not yet done with FGA, Pink, but we are going.
But are you doing it right now?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Good, because I got stuff to say, boyo.
Okay.
I was wondering if you were going to have something to say about Avatar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also had to have stuff to say about Avatar, but we're not there yet. So give it a
I'll
couple
wait.
minutes. Okay.
I'll wait. I'll be here.
Okay. So yes.
Watching like a pervert.
Yeah. So yes, Granblue is I don't know how like what people thought was going on with it, but they announced that it's getting a new character, getting a new stage, they're refreshing the system mechanics, stuff like that. You know, still getting support. Then,
Yeah.
to no one's surprise, once again, Gem Kuradonberi and Robokai were announced for Guilty Gear Strive.
Yes, there was some pretty obvious silhouettes there, especially once people figured out that Robokai hasn't changed, or Robokey, whatever, hasn't changed his belt buckle in 30 years.
He loves that shit.
It's styling. That's why he loves it.
I do the like I've seen people complain about the about this DLC, and every time I see people complain about Guilty Gear Strive recently, I do the fucking I think it's Giancarlo Esposito in the meme. You're complaining about
what?
I think it's Giancarlo Esposito in the meme where he's like
oh yeah.
Where
he's smiling and then suddenly the screen gets dark and he gets a very grimacing face on.
No. The fucking thing where like you know you're complaining about Gem Kuradonberi because you can't see her panties. I'm complaining about Gem Kuradonberi because she's gonna get fucking her feet cut off. We're not the same.
Oh yeah. He's fixing his tie. Yeah, one of the many bizarro memes to come out of the Breaking Bad meme community.
Yeah.
They're not quite as broken as the Invincible meme community, but they're up there.
But yeah, like every time I see people complaining about Strive, the state of Strive, or just Strive in general, recently, I do that fucking meme because they're complaining about like, man, I fucking hate that there's air dashing in this game, or you know, Jam doesn't show her panties anymore. And I'm just like, the entire game's premise is shit. It doesn't fit into the series. What the fuck? So anyway, yes.
No, go ahead.
Tokon announced their new team, the Amazing Guardians.
Oh yeah,
That was something.
displaying that the teams in fact have no like cohesion or logic. We
No.
just want these characters. We threw Star-Lord and Ms. Marvel with Spider-Man because I don't know, it's 2 Peters and 2 street level heroes.
We had nobody else.
We threw in Miss Marvel there because Miss Marvel died in the comics to save Peter, and we threw in Star-Lord because him and Spider-Man are both named Peter.
And they both in different continuities fucked Kitty Pryde.
Yeah, sure, why not? And then Penny Parker is also here because we need her. She is the load-bearing character for Marvel currently.
The same reason that White Fox and Juno Snow have been added to Marvel Rivals is it is transparently like, okay, we think Marvel could have potential to expand into Eastern markets, but we need the characters to do it. And like Marvel is like really great for international characters for the most part, but as Japanese characters go, it's like, okay, well, there's Yukio, who is like not really that important other than what she matters for getting Storm to turn punk. And there's Sunfire, who is a very like and Pink immediately started laughing. Sunfire, who's expressly limited to the 40s through 1980s vision of Japan as America's like highly bigoted nationalistic rival. Where Sunfire, 70% of Sunfire dialogue is filthy Americans think they know everything. Supreme Nihon superior. Am I wrong, Pink?
You're not wrong about that at all. And furthermore, Sunfire's powers come explicitly from the dropping the nukes on Hiroshima. So
I forgot about that part.
That's kind of important to his character, and it kind of has to be forgotten about in modern times, because how do you explain that away when that happened?
Because he's like 30.
Not an old man by any stretch of the imagination, but time moves on. Comics don't.
Oh shit.
Oh, that's right, because Sunfire was created back in the day when all the mutants were not just randomly born. There was always a nuclear connection. Yep. Beast and Professor X's dad worked on the Manhattan Project.
Yep.
And Beast's dad was a nuclear engineer at a power plant. Oh my god, right. So yeah, Sunfire, they can't go with Sunfire. They can't go with Yukio. They can't go with Lady Deathstrike because she's evil and also just a stereotypical dragon lady. Like, the wild thing is that, for one thing, all of the Japanese characters for Marvel are X-Men characters.
Yes. All of them. And another sore point there is the most popular Japanese character in Marvel of all time is a British woman in a Japanese lady's body.
Yes. Yes. And they can't make it Quanon because Quanon's a huge bitch. When you think of Psylocke as like a nice British lady who's friendly with Cyclops, that's Betsy. Quanon's an asshole.
I don't know. Like I think my problem is, which I didn't read Penny Parker at all. I don't know what she's like in the comics.
I don't think anyone has read Penny Parker. They've seen her in movies.
Yeah. But yeah, like, you know, my problem with Penny as a character that keeps popping up is that she suffers from the Miles problem of like, I am just Peter, but, and like, you know, with Miles it was I am just Peter but black. Except, you know, now he's an actual character, which is good. I'm happy. And Penny's
just put in a decade of work on that, and even then, Miles still kind of exists to be the character of when we want to tell teenage Peter stories, but Peter's in his 20s.
Yeah. And then Penny Parker, feels like I am Peter, but Diva from Overwatch. And
yeah, kind of. That's kind of the point of her. Yeah.
and I wish there was more to her. I wish she has a different personality or something. Like she can still be big mech woman, but she doesn't need to literally just be Diva from Overwatch. You know?
I
But
suppose to
Diva
a
from
certain degree
Overwatch
she's
did
Diva from
so well, and if that formula worked for Blizzard, why wouldn't it work for Marvel?
That's kind of what I was about to say. Is like,
Why put
yeah,
forth
I
an
mean,
effort yourself when somebody has already laid the groundwork for you?
we're boldly assuming here a great deal of interest in telling an interesting character story, when the simpler case is they want to make their tiny little fan service girl wearing riding a mecha.
Yeah.
They've seen the fandom. They know it exists. Now they just need to poach it.
They've seen that one Worthless
Oh,
video.
Yeah.
They were big fans.
That's the one. That's the one they saw and were like, yeah, we need to add this to Marvel. That's it, right? You've got it.
Yeah.
Which what?
There's a video of like this cosplay woman. I don't know what the context was because I only saw the memes. But this cosplay woman is dressed up as Diva, and then she goes, "Nerf this," and then she claps her ass to the camera. And the way I saw this is that after that, like when she claps her ass, someone edited in just a diarrhea fart.
A thunderous fart.
Yes.
That changes the ult entirely.
Right?
Yes, that's why Addy, every time that a diva pops her ult in a game with Addy, Addy will joke about her releasing a thunderous fart afterwards.
It's all making sense now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that video, that meme has fucking ruined that ult for me. But like not in a horribly like bad way. Like it's not like I get PTSD from it. It's just like I literally cannot hear this line without thinking of Diva jumping out of the mech, fucking slapping herself on the ass and farting while jumping out.
So this is one of the moments where you actually are getting a strong advantage from being like the asexual guy, Addy. I've seen that video as well, and Pink, if you saw it, you would be traumatized by that as well, where you'd be utterly displeased to hear Addy reference it. Because up until then, even though it's depicting Diva, who is a not shapely character at all, she's thin as a rail, tiny little fucking rail thing.
Right.
The cosplayer is in fact quite shapely and has a rather impressive rear. So for a bit, the the male heterosexual brain kicks in and is like, oh yeah, hey, this is cool. And then the fart ruins it, and suddenly you're like, oh God, why? No.
So anyway, fucking Invincible Versus released Titan. I didn't even watch the video. I can tell what was in it. let me guess. This big. Let me guess. It is big, strong man. He does air combo, and then Big Mush fly out. Wow. Daring today.
Yep. You know, as always with Invincible, it's like, hey, there's potential for interesting stuff here, because Titan's thing is that he's not actually a man made out of stone, but he makes a shell made out of stone that he can then expel. You know, there's potential there for making an interesting fighting game character. But I know it's going to be punch, punch, kick, punch, punch, kick, punch, punch, kick.
Yeah,
that's the gameplay.
Magic Series launcher, Air Magic Series, and like fucking knockdown, super.
Here's the thing. They hurt. Look, you always say Ed Boon's listening in. No, don't worry about it. Iron Galaxy or Helix, which one of those two is doing it? Helix, right? Or Iron Galaxy?
I don't know.
Remember. It's one of the two Killer Instinct guys.
Yeah.
But either which way, they were listening, and they heard you say it pissed you off that Guilty Gear got rid of Gatlings. So they're like, what if we made an Oops All Gatlings game?
Yeah.
That would please the Addy. Our primary target audience.
Yeah, for the series that they haven't watched.
Oh shit.
So anyway, yes. So, we're at Avatar. But for my thing that I wanted to say, because it's shorter, and I assume Pink has a lot to say about it, I am surprised, but this game is doing regional pricing, so I might pick it up like at launch because it's like actually affordable.
Nice.
All right.
So yeah, that's my thing that I wanted to say about it. Pink, go ahead.
Well, I was hoping you guys would have a lot more to say about it, so I could build off what you were saying about it. But
Oh, okay.
if the floor is mine, I'm not even sure where to start. I will emphasize Addy's point that he made, like right off the bat. Very, 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 very affordable game at $30 for the base game, and then like another 20 on top of that for the deluxe edition, which would be like. Actually, I can check Steam right now. I have it wish listed. Give me 1 second. $29.99 for the base edition, $49.99, which is just $50. $50 for the digital deluxe edition. So
Yeah.
that is like $20 cheaper than the standard edition of Street Fighter 6.
Yeah. Those prices ain't going down.
Yeah, it's pretty bonkers. It's very small roster, which is understandable considering the franchise it's picking out from. So that's probably a definite factor in why they've made that price point the way it is. But I think it's a very fair price point. So, like all the headlines I had been seeing recently, leading up into me joining this FGA, was just that price point there of Avatar is coming out this July 2nd, $30 base edition. It's like, oh my god, like why wouldn't I pick it up? And earlier this year when it was first announced, I was like, yeah, I'll probably pick that up in the future. But now at that price, like, why wouldn't I? Why
Yeah.
not? Why the hell not?
And the gameplay looks good, and it sounds like it's good from according to people who have played it.
Yes.
It looks good.
They
The arts is good.
Zuko is.
Yeah.
I don't know any other. Okay, Pink, have we talked to you about what's come out about the gameplay?
No, not even sort of.
So they made several like game. They built like story mechanics into the gameplay of matches. So Korra gets a massive boost if she gets first hit of the match without having blocked first. Because she's Korra, she's aggressive and she's impulsive. And the game is saying, be aggressive and impulsive at the start of the match and you'll get a boost if you get first hit.
Interesting.
Zuko has some weird system that is like a redemption system where depending on how you play, he'll either be evil Zuko or good Zuko. And that affects certain degrees of his gameplay, but it also affects like what his win pose is and what dialogue he'll say.
Interesting.
Also, Zuko is a... Oh, go ahead.
I saw on Twitter this afternoon, they announced some gameplay mechanics for Azula, where she's I don't know if it's like a stance switch or if it's more along the lines of what you're talking about right now, where she can play as the evil, precise Azula, or the
or Psycho
Azula, and her moveset changes based on which stance you're in, I suppose. So that looked cool.
Yeah. And then also on top of this, the game has fucking a groove system, because why the fuck not?
What is a groove system? For those at home who might not know what it is, which is not me totally.
The groove system is like the game we played a couple of days ago, CVS2, where you can choose like some of the mechanics that the characters work around. So like I think in Avatar, how they did it is there are certain moves that you can do with the character where if you're in the groove for it, it becomes stronger. So like Zuko, I think, has on air jump or like a command jump or something like that in the air, and then if you use it with regular Zuko that isn't geared towards it, then he gets like 2 of those in one jump. And if you go with the one that is specified or specifically built around that, then he gets like 5. Stuff like that.
Interesting.
What I saw was the Zuko has like 5 different dive kicks
Yes.
for all different angles.
Zuko
Which
seems
means
to
if
be,
there's a very good chance I'm going to end up being a Zuko main because that like one of my favorite KOF characters that never comes back named Seth has that same gimmick.
Ha!
Zuko, from what I understand, is the heir, which is very ironic. But like, he just has all of the air stuff. He has all the air mobility. He has all the air moves, and then he also has mix-ups on the ground because fuck you.
Aang's also very movement heavy, right? But Zuko's just very aggressive with his movement because it's all dive kicks.
Yes.
But like Aang's got crazy air dashes and shit.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah, it seemed like the difference was Aang's going to jump and then be like, okay, make the opponent guess, where am I going? Zuko jumps and makes the opponent guess, how am I going to kick you in the face?
Yeah. Wait, what the fuck? It says I'm watching the trailer and it says that if you get the deluxe edition, you get a year 1 best character vote. Does that mean that it's gonna who they're adding to the game as DLC is gonna be fucking voted on?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I don't see it on the Steam page here, so they don't advertise that. But I saw on Twitter, like, if you pre-order the deluxe edition, you get to vote, or you get voting privileges for the for a DLC character. I don't know if it's going to be a season 1 character. I highly doubt that, but for a character in a season that comes out seems more reasonable.
Yeah.
So I'm both curious and nervous to see how that goes because I don't trust the people.
It's
Power's never been my forte.
It's time for my favorite Avatar character, Akuma Street Fighter, to join the roster.
You know we're getting the Cabbage Man.
Yes.
The Cabbage Man or the Boulder.
We should get...
Not even gonna lie, I vote for the Boulder.
We should get...
The Boulder would be pretty great, especially if they get Mick Foley back, because they've got all the other voice actors back.
We should get the Bloodbending Woman.
Foley can't possibly be doing anything nowadays anyway. Just lock him in the recording booth like we do for all the other voice actors. It'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good time for him, because he gets to do an impression of Dwayne.
Yeah!
All right, your season 2 DLC 1 character that you would have done, Sokka's girlfriend. You literally just play as the moon.
Which one?
The moon.
Okay, I was about to say.
So my mind defaulted to Suki, and I was wondering if she was already in or not.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Suki's one of the launch characters.
I think so. Yeah, she's in this art that I'm looking at.
I can look at. Let me
they do. It's 12 characters, though sadly 2 of the launch spots are taken by Avatar State Aang and Avatar State Korra.
Oh,
that's no fun.
So we're getting into the Dragon Ball Fighter Z thing of like, all right, how many Gokus you want, brother?
Yeah.
Right.
No.
But Sokka's on the base roster, which is going to be fun because he's not a bender.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, how the fuck are some of those mechanics going to work for him? Because if memory serves, there's a specific bend button.
Yeah. I want them to add
That's his boomerang button.
Yes, probably.
According to... Is this an AI overview? It probably is, but I'll trust it. According to this AI overview, probably. Only 7 characters have been revealed thus far.
Huh.
Good lord.
I just swore I saw they revealed all 12, and so people were pissed there was...
Oh, there's an art on the pre-order now page, or whatever, on Steam, where it shows 12 characters, so I'm assuming those are the people who will be in the game.
Oh, wait, you know what? I feel like they did release a, splash page, art page, the other day. Because I saw
like a splash collection.
I saw a little article here saying remaining characters have not yet been revealed, but speculation suggests they may include other notable figures from the Legend Korra, such as such and such, Mako, Bolin, and antagonists like Amon and Zahir. Because I feel like I did see an image with Zahir on it, and I was confused because I was like, that guy sucks ass. That would be terrible.
Have they added
official confirmation is pending? Go ahead.
Have they added Korra's wife yet?
No. That's the only other character you'd want from the Korra series, though, so they better get on it.
They have to add in fucking boy failure. Mister never
Mako.
getting over with the fans.
What a travesty! Naming him after the legend, and then they just make him the worst character of all time.
The only thing I know about Korra is that it introduced high tech, like forklifts, and Korra's a lesbian, and that's all I know. I have no idea what character you guys are talking about right now.
That's fair. Want to know something crazy? I'm pretty sure season 4 ends with like a fight against a giant sentinel, kind of like Liberty Prime.
I mean, it makes sense.
I
If
wish
you're
I
going
were
to use
joking.
tech, might as well have a tech-based fight, a tech-based villain to fight.
And then
I wish I were joking.
And then Korra dropped a nuke.
Korra,
That would
what?
have been a mercy on us all.
Korra dropped a nuke. I think that happens between Korra and the new series, but Korra did drop a nuke apparently.
New series?
Yes, they're making a new avatar set after Korra, where the world is fuck. It's post-apocalyptic.
I see.
But yeah. What else can we really say about it? Oh, Avatar Legends, that is, because like none of us played the betas. I don't think so.
I don't think there have been betas yet.
There have been.
There have, but only on PlayStation.
Yeah.
What? There's a little note here on the Steam. What do you call this? Bullet point. Bullet point. There's a bullet point here on the Steam page. Easy to pick up, impossible to put down. Anyone can start bending with simple, intuitive controls, perfect for quick matches with friends and family. Sign me up, brother.
Think this will not make sense to you, but the control scheme for this game is Blaze Blue. So I'm not sure how much
no sense to me.
So I'm not sure how much I trust that description.
But there is a robust training mode that I will ignore.
Like just think, imagine the controls to Guilty Gear, but instead of kick, you get a special character specific button where kick is, and that's basically the control scheme.
Don't worry, I wouldn't know where kick is anyway.
Okay.
All right.
Then I guess to
Year 1 pass includes the Year 1 pass. Sorry. Bullet point threw me off. Year 1 pass adds 5 additional playable characters upon release. And they don't mention anything about the vote in the Steam page, so I'm pretty sure the vote upon character is not going to be part of the Year 1 pass. I would have to, if I were a betting man, I would bet money, like approximately $30 or so, that all 5 of the additional playable characters for the Year 1 pass have already been decided upon, and probably already have a decent amount of work done on them already.
Yeah, probably.
Because that's just how they do.
And also
This
original
also has full
soundtrack.
controller support for my Xbox controller and my PlayStation controller, which is really exciting because, you know, my PlayStation controller does not get a lot of use.
Yeah.
Also, it's got crossplay, by the way,
Yeah,
in
which
case you didn't know.
Which will probably not be used by us because we'll all be using the PC version. But it's cool that it does.
Yeah.
What if I got on the GameCube, though?
We have to consult the other Mario for that.
I suppose that's fair.
Good lord.
I guess to close things out, fucking Invincible Versus announced another character who is also Brickman, but he has a one blind eye, so he's different.
Oh, Conquest, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of bound to add him for a couple reasons. First being
Didn't they
he's a
make him
character.
DLC?
No, he is.
Uh,
At least from what I can tell, he should be on base under roster, and then they also announced the DLC.
yeah, Immortal is the.
Yeah, that's right. I remember the DLC now because everyone was making fun of it.
Yes, Universal and Immortal.
Yeah, which I question what the choice was there, because if memory serves, is Immortal not considered a huge loser by like most of the Invincible fan base?
Yeah, that's why
Okay.
everyone's clowning on it. It's like if people don't want to pay extra money for the Immortal. He got jobbed out twice in a span of 2 months by the same guy.
Like my understanding. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm finished.
Okay, my understanding of Immortal as a character is that he's a character we're told is important because it used to be Abraham Lincoln, and it doesn't matter how many times he dies, he'll come back. And he's almost on the level of the Viltrumites. But the truth is, whenever you make a character whose gimmick is that anytime they die, they'll come back, that boils down to that making them a jabroni, because it's like, oh, so we can have this guy die to show off how cool every other villain is.
Yeah. This guy's almost on the level of our villains, and he can revive himself every time he dies. You know what you are? Cannon fodder.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
I'm really good that.
I will admit
yeah.
I was surprised, though, because I thought for certain either Battle Beast or Conquest was going to be reserved for DLC, since those would be the big... Those are probably going to be the two big money makers if they could choose, but the fact that they're on the base roster, that's kind of wild.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really...
I was surprised.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, I'm really happy for Invincible Versus that they could make a roster of like 20 characters seem like the same character, reskinned.
Conquest, at least, like, he's big and heavy, and he's got a big, stupid metal hand, and he's angry, but the decision to have the one that mystifies me is the Viltrumite that's the one that's not anyone important. It's just the fat black dude with the mustache. I don't even remember his name. To my knowledge,
I remembered his name, but then you started talking about not remembering his name, and now I can't remember it. I keep wanting to say Vulcan, but I know it's not Vulcan because it's it starts with a U though, doesn't it?
Wait, is he not a huge loser? I thought he was like a literal nobody. Like literally, they just took an extra.
No, he's a somewhat notable character. He's not like super important, but he's somewhat important, just a little bit. What is his name? Julian? It's not
Volko?
Julian. It's somebody else. Lucan. His name's Lucan. I knew there was a U somewhere in there.
Okay.
Vulcan, Lucan, it sounds similar. My brain was on the right path.
Is that guy not a huge loser? Is that like guy not pretty well just an extra?
I'm going to look up the roster now. Because I've not been following any of the news on Invincible, so I'm well behind the times. Oh, we got renders! Thank you, site. This is cool. All right. There's a Thula. I don't know if that character exists in the comics, but they're here.
The old lady with the sword for a braid?
Yeah.
I have no idea, but she certainly exists in the cartoon.
That is a fact. I've seen at least one episode with
her. They've also got the chick who people are getting mad horny for, and some of them know what she does in the comics, and some of them don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I saw it was apparently quite controversial that when they revealed she's going to be an Invincible Versus, they uploaded a whole clip calling her mommy and like going all like so sexy, yada yada yada, and people were like, "What the fuck? What the
Now, in
fuck,
fairness,
guys?"
for the people who don't know, you can't blame them because I am in the know and I'm still kind of in their boat too.
Oh, don't get me wrong, I am too, but I'm not in charge of the Invincible brand. That's
You
one
know
of those
they're
things
not going to
where
carry that out in the show, though.
you don't think they'll do it in the show?
No, 100%. I don't think they've got the balls to do it in the show.
Really?
They didn't have Invincible. They didn't have Adam Eve's dad talk with Mark in the backyard about her virginity, so they're not going to have Anissa do with Mark.
But that's like a major character moment, isn't it? Where like, because then she has has Mark's kid, and it's the awkward thing where Mark has to try and love
Here's the
that
thing.
kid.
I think they're still gonna find a way to get those plot points forward. I don't think they're gonna do it in the way they do it in the comics.
I would question if like they had other reasons to not have Adam Eve's dad have that notorious monologue, though. It's difficult to say because I'm not entirely sure why they cut that out, to be honest. I don't see what was wrong with having Adam Eve's dad be a huge, horrible, sexist piece of shit that you hate.
I don't have an explanation. I only have a guesswork.
I mean, they've definitely made changes because, correct me if I'm wrong, like the cartoon is run with the idea that Omni-Man genuinely loves Mark's mom, whereas in the comics it was always a thing of like, nah, she was just a semen dump.
Until she wasn't. And then he dies.
I thought wasn't it a thing that like Omni-Man's mom, excuse me, Mark's mom in the comics pretty well just leaves the plot after Omni-Man leaves Earth because she just becomes an alcoholic and that's the only thing she does. And when they were doing the cartoon, they're like, that's kind of dismissive of the character. We prefer for her to still have a role.
Yeah,
So they changed her.
they firmly course adjusted with Debbie in the show versus the comics. Because she dips in the comics pretty much at the same time that Omni-Man dips, and then she doesn't come back until around the same time that Omni-Man comes back, and then she's not relevant until they get back together, and then she's still kind of not relevant at all.
I question with some of these things whether it's not a studio choice. I question whether it's, oh god, what's his name? The guy that wrote Invincible and Walking Dead.
Kirk something.
Yes. Andrew Kirkman?
Is it Robert Kirkman?
Robert Kirkman. That sounds right. He's been much more hands-on with Invincible's cartoon. Correct me if I'm wrong.
You should be spot on there, which is why I think they're making so many changes that are drastically different from the comic because it's him coming back, what is it, 15 years after Invincible ended, the comic series?
Yeah.
So he's had a lot more time to think on the stuff that, I would have liked to do this instead, and I would have, if I could change something, I would have changed this, or I would have readjusted that thing over there. And now he's got the opportunity to do it, so why wouldn't he take that opportunity?
And it's had that feeling where Walking Dead, of course, went badly off the rails from what Kirkman had planned, but it was like Garbo, and you could tell it wasn't what Kirkman would have wrote if he was in charge of redirecting the way Walking Dead went. Because Kirkman's Walking Dead has like a fundamentally different identity than Walking Dead, the TV show. I mean, Kirkman's Walking Dead comic has an eventual ending where they go, yeah, eventually we learned to deal with the zombies and live with them and society rebuilt. And the show is like, no, that doesn't allow us to make more TV, so we're not going to do that. Also, shout outs to them killing off Carl so they wouldn't have to up his pay for him as an adult. Where the comic kills off Rick and has Carl take over. Bleh. But nonetheless, that's what I'm wondering, because like the mom in particular feels like a thing where in hindsight, Kirkman's like, you know what? I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
And I question, like, I wonder if he thinks that he laid it on too thick with Adam Eve's dad.
That's what I think. Because, like, a lot of the most notable changes have been. How do I say this in a way that doesn't make me sound like I'm a misogynist? It all seems very much like he's overcorrecting in regards to where in the like early mid 2000s it would have been seen as very dismissive of the women. So now
Yeah.
he's going in the opposite direction. And I don't say that as a bad thing. I just say that as what it seems to me to be.
Yeah, it sounds like they've done a lot of stuff like that, where they've cut down on elements of the original comic that would have been seen as like there aren't, other than Adam Eve, there aren't a lot of women who are like really super great people in the comic, from my recollection. Because Duplicate, like her whole thing pretty well is, have I ever mentioned how much I love adultery and cheating on every single man I ever get with? And then when they changed Shrinking Ray to a woman, suddenly Shrinking Ray isn't a joke who dies instantly anymore and is now an actual character.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do question though with Anissa though, it feels like at the time that was very bold for Invincible to say an attractive woman can still rape a man. And while on one hand I think they would be interested in changing it just out of concerns of people doing what they do around Anissa of I wish it was me. But nonetheless, I feel like that would still be a thing where they'd be interested in doing it because Invincible has largely, even though Invincible is a much better told story than The Boys by fucking miles and miles, it and The Boys nonetheless got their names built by taking superheroes and doing something different with them. It's just that The Boys take superheroes and is like, what if they murder raped everything? And we're not going to examine the implications of that. We're just going to have a murder rape all over the place. And Invincible is like, okay, what if one of the superheroes turned out to be like really evil? And from there, we started to examine the logical impacts of that.
Right.
Invincible, far be it from me to say, Invincible's a bit smarter than The Boys.
You know, when you put it that way, it's just kind of hard for me to agree with, but ultimately, at the end of the day, I think I do agree with you there.
But either which way, I feel like they still enjoy a bit of controversy chasing. And the Anissa's thing would do that.
You're not wrong there.
Whereas people really wouldn't care what Adam Eve's dad says.
No, that's too much to air. Why don't you guys say something?
All right.
Addy!
Yes.
Me and Pink have talked enough about Invincible. What do you think?
I don't.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
My thoughts on Invincible are we can finally be bees.
This is good news. You can live for 30 years.
That's my favorite bit of the entire meme there. We can live for 30 years. The exact number, 30 years.
Yeah.
It's so great, because it's first the thing that occurs to you is, why would that be appealing? As a Viltrumite, he's going to live way longer.
He wants to die.
On top of that, 30 years is an extremely long time for a bee to live.
Yeah. The one thing that I really don't like about that video is that I can't find the version that I first saw where it's a fight. It starts as a fight scene, and then eventually it's just Omni-Man punching Mark off screen and then flying after him, and then it does that for half a minute. And then that somehow goes into good news, Mark. We can finally be bees. Like by punching you for a fucking minute, I have unlocked the power to turn us into bees.
Have you seen the clip where they edit it so that it's the scene where the Immortal's flying in to get his revenge on Omni-Man after getting brought back from the dead? But they edit it so that he misses Omni-Man by like a fucking mile, and he's just attacking nothing.
No,
I actually saw that just the other day. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's the bit. Of course, by now we've all seen it because the Invincible community loves to meme the scene to death. But Omni-Man's flying above the cornfield or whatever, and he just hears Omni-Man. Where's Omni-Man? Oh! And it shows Like Omni-Man, they just keep one frame of him in flight, halfway turn around, like, what? And then the Immortal slides by him at high speed, and it cuts to the bits of him doing rapid fire, like midair Dempsey rolling to nothing.
Nice.
And then a big charge up punch to nothing. And then Immortal puts over the invincible Omni-Man's haymaker back and goes pinwheeling off into the sunset.
Nice.
Delightful.
Oh, shit. What is it about certain TV show communities that get them like this? Because Breaking Bad's community does the same thing. Sopranos community does the same thing. It's bizarre.
I think it's just like if you attract a certain like, whatchamacallit, a certain like layer of person, then this is the end result.
I suppose so, and I think it helps that all three shows can have senses of humor about themselves, and that leads to people getting a sense of humor about things.
Yeah.
Comparative to like The Boys, I don't ever see people make Boys edits or memes.
True.
But then again, with The Boys, I question like people don't make Boys edits or memes because how do you make the show more absurd than it already is?
Yeah.
And I don't mean that even as an insult. The Boys is like South Park, where it takes joy and pride in its absurdity. You can't make a joking meme edit where Homelander's like, what if I took a whole bus of school children and threw it in a volcano? Because he would do that.
No, see, then you make an edit where it's the opposite. What if I took a bus of school children and gave them treats?
Yeah! I'd like to see this. The complete opposite of the edits of taking characters and making them do absurd, violent, perverted things. No, meme edits where Homelander is a nice, wholesome guy.
Yeah, he still drinks breast milk though. That's the one thing that remains.
Yeah, but now it's with consent.
Yeah.
Now there's women in the crowd holding up their bottles of breast milk. Please, Homelander, mine.
Yeah.
I'm flattered, madam, but I can only take on so much at once. Oh, shit.
Hmm.
I have a quick Overwatch question because we've veered so far off fighting games now. Might as well ask an Overwatch question.
True.
Hey, Pink. So there's a thing in Team Fortress 2. If you equip the, I forget the name of the bow, but the sniper can change out his sniper rifle for a bow. And that makes him more or less play like Hanzo, right?
Sure.
The notorious thing about the bow is that the arrow's hitbox is quite large. And if even a slightest corner of the arrow hitbox touches the head hitbox of an enemy, even if it was otherwise blatantly a chest shot, the game nonetheless goes, oh, headshot. I have does Hanzo's bow and arrow work the same way? Because I've taken Hanzo into the shooting range.
Similarly.
Okay, I've taken Hanzo into the shooting range, and I've noticed most of my shots miss, but every shot that lands is a headshot.
Yep. Yeah, Hanzo has a projectile ammo type. That's his default primary fire. The Stormbow is hit scan, so it's a little less merciful with the headshots, but the primary fire is rather generous with the arrow hitbox. So it's very, very possible and sometimes rather easy to get headshots that should not have really been headshots. Okay. A little less so than Hawkeye and Rivals, but still pretty freaking generous.
This makes me then question if it's a projectile thing rather than a hit scan thing. I mean, a projectile thing.
It is a projectile thing.
Yes.
All the projectiles do have varying sizes, though. I don't know who has the largest and who has the smallest at this point, because every few patches, they always make changes to the projectile box size. Because Zenyatta used to be stupid large, and then they shrunk it down. I know Hanzo for a brief period in 2017, I think, his projectiles were undersized, and then they had a patch where it made him oversized, and then he became problematic, and then
And
they tuned him down again.
yeah,
Okay.
the week where Hanzo was shooting javelins.
Yeah, there was a solid month or two of that where he was launching barns at people.
That's a good mental image. Does this mean that if I play Ana and I take the can now get headshots with the trank darts, not the trank darts, with the poison darts perk, should that mean I should start switching to hip fire because the hitbox of her poison darts will be hit bigger than the hitbox of her hit scan?
I think I would stay scoped because hit scans fire off a lot faster. You get a lot more rounds per second. Whereas the projectile fire, it has, travel time, distance, etc. And I don't know if her projectile hitbox is all that much larger than her standard fire going through scope. So in theory, I see where you're coming from, but I don't know how it would work in practice. So that would definitely be a practice range thing I'd check out.
All right, well, I will do that in just a second. But nonetheless, fighting games, it's incredible we bring up Invincible Versus, and we'd rather talk about anything else.
Yeah.
Because what can we say? The game looks the fucking same in all the clips.
Like there's a couple of these games in the current lineup where it's like, we don't really have any interest in it, so like we'll make note of the news and then move on. But do we have as much of a negative reaction to any of them as Invincible Versus? Because like Granblue will just go, here's the news headline, and then we move on. With Invincible Versus, we go, here's the news, and then we talk like 15 minutes about how all of the characters in Invincible Versus are the same.
I think it's just a matter of like some games, fighting games, default fighting games, I will call them, that have their own set roster. You can only pick on them so much for their either lack of originality or lack of solid. What is the word for like something with a high skill ceiling or not? High skill or skill based play. You can only poke so much fun at them because they're operating on their own system that they've built in. With something like Invincible Versus, where it's a fighting game that is taking a IP from somebody else and building upon that, I think it exacerbates a lot of the problems that a typical fighting game would have if you kind of feel like there's not a lot of original content within or a lot of opportunity for higher skill-based gameplay. Because as Alex and you both have been mentioning as you've discussed the roster, it's like every time you see a character, my monitor just went to black. Every time you see the character, you think, wow, that's a really interesting power they have in the comics. It would be really cool to see how this would be adapted or could be adapted into a fighting game. And instead, they're just going to punch like normal.
Yeah,
or like normal.
That's the thing, though, Pink. Like, it's not even like the problem with Invincible Versus isn't just that they're like beholden to the limits of a fighting game. It's that they, for some reason, went, all right, you know what this game needs? Every character on the roster to be Ryu. Everyone is Ryu. Everyone has the same moves.
Yeah, I'm not saying the problem is that they're beholden to the mechanics of a fighting game. I'm saying the problem is that they're not challenging themselves to break out of what fighting games are and adapt certain traits or powers properly the way they could be.
Yeah.
Well, shit, several of these powers have been done before in fighting games in really interesting ways, but they're just not doing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Duplicate was just punch kicking, except that you'd send out a clone and the clone punches or the clone kicks. Several fighting games before have experimented with the idea of, okay, what if you can play several characters at once? And it's really difficult, but it's really rewarding for the people who practice it. And to me, I was looking at Duplicate, and I was like, that would have 100% been the gimmick to Duplicate. But no.
Do you think she'll get the Ice Climber's Infinite Grab?
That'd be great, but no. On top of that, I think it goes. I think it also is to a certain degree what you get exposed to. And Addie and I both move in the sort of social media circles between the YouTubers we watch and the social media communities we visit, where Invincible is still a new hotness, and the devs have a good bit of respect on their names from their previous work on Killer Instinct, which Pink did. I mean, Addie didn't like to begin with, but nonetheless, I did like. So there is a lot more talk about, like, man, this game's going to be great when it comes out. So we're seeing a lot of talk about it. When what we see is like, no, this doesn't really look great. This doesn't even really look good. Compared to Grand Blue, where people at this point are like, yeah, Grand Blue exists. Either you're into it or you're not.
Yeah, I mean the biggest sin for Grand Blue currently that I'm seeing is that people keep saying like, oh, Grand Blue does the modern controls thing good. When Grand Blue removed that, when they made the new version, the one that has been the main version for 4 years now, that is no longer a thing. The thing that you're talking about is in the past. It doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah, I forget if we ever mentioned this to Pink. So Grand Blue had the decision that there is a modern button where you have your regular fighting game control scheme, but you also have where you can press a one button to do any special move thing, the right trigger or something, right? And depending on what direction you press the stick in when you press right trigger, it changes what special move you do. Now, the gimmick behind this was, okay, well, comparatively, just pressing right trigger is faster than putting the input motion in for Hadouken or Shoryuken. So our gimmick is that if you do a special move with the special move button, then it has a cooldown, a 2 or 3 second cooldown. Whereas if you do the motion, it doesn't have a cooldown. And that was the gimmick. And that was thought of as really cool by a lot of people because it's like, oh, it's a best of both worlds situation, and it doesn't result in people. You don't get the modern Zangief issue of like, oh, Zangief can walk up to me and press a button and he pile drives me. He doesn't have to take the time to do a full circle with a stick. And this is what pisses Addy off, is that the sequel decided to get rid of the cooldowns and make it where pressing the special move button is just the same as doing the input.
How it should be, you mean?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, okay, we're gonna explain this to Pink, and Pink's gonna be like, yeah, what's the problem? And then Addy's gonna sit over there and he's gonna be like, motherfuck, don't indulge it. He wants you to get angry. He wants you to get angry. Don't do it. I will say, Anna spamming hip fire with the critical hits thing does seem quite good, but I don't think it's because of the increased hitbox size of the darts relative to the hit scan of scoped in. I think it's just because hip fire Anna can just fucking spray and pray, and you get accidental headshots, and it's like, yeah, this works. Because you do fire a lot faster in hip fire to make up for the fact that it's not hit scan.
Oh, nice. Oh, yeah, you're right about that.
Which is why if you're just sat behind your tank, then yeah, hip fire is the best because you just spray into the tank's fat ass.
Yeah.
Well, it's Junker Queen because she's a little bit too skinny for that.
Yeah.
Her and Sigma are kind of the two skinny tanks. So Sigma, at least, he's got a skinny ass, but he's got big shoulders so you can aim up. Junker Queen, like, she's just too shapely. She's tall, but she's not thick enough.
Right, they need to fix that. This next patch really needs to buff up the Junker Queen and Domino. This next patch, that's what we really need.
I very much agree as someone who was always playing healer. Domina has like Sigma's problem on steroids, where like, yeah, if I aim high, I can get her because I can shoot the robot arms. But so often I'm trying to also see what's going on behind her, and it results in me aiming at her lower half, which is way skinnier.
Right.
Yeah. Nonetheless,
Blizzard should patch Juno, so if she shoots you in the head with her healing gun, then it deals critical healing.
They should do that with Ana.
I mean, they should just do that. They should do that with every healer who's healing like thing. It can be aimed.
Yeah. Inject the healing juice directly into the brain.
Yeah. So anyway, that's all the fighting game news I could find.
All right. Well, do we want to talk about the aspects of Alex that nobody's been talking about, which is, besides the sister fucking, cousin fucking stuff, he's also a fighting game character.
On the down low.
On the down low. He keeps his secret because he's ashamed of it.
Yeah.
I forget. Pink, have you heard about the incest with Alex?
Yes, because I think I was, it was like the day of or the day after we, all played with Alex, and I don't remember if you guys mentioned it, or if it was something I saw, like, on Twitter the very next day. But I have been, tuned into the fact that... No, wasn't it one of you guys told me about the patch they were doing to make Alex not that?
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm aware of that thing, and it's not a thing anymore? Or it's going to not be a thing anymore?
No, it still is. They arguably made it worse.
So, okay, so they're working on... Oh, how they make it worse?
Okay. Alex's story... Alex has one of the lamest and least interesting stories in Street Fighter. So in Street Fighter 3, his story was... His parents died when he was young. He gets adopted by his martial arts mentor, Tom. And he fights to avenge... Well, Tom gets beaten up by the game's villain, Gil, the blonde dude that's half red and half blue, because Gil broke Tom's arm, which is not exactly the most fascinating reason to go and pursue the villain, especially considering Tom's like, dude, it was a sparring match. This happens. You get hurt. Oh, and also Tom had a daughter, Patricia, that Alex was like a protective older brother of. Okay, cool. All right, Street Fighter 6, Alex comes around. Arcade mode. You play as arcade mode first because it's way easier than going into World Tour. And in the World Tour mode, in the arcade mode, you beat the arcade mode and it gets revealed, oh, Alex and Patricia, his adopted little sister, are now married and she's pregnant with his child. Immediately like, oh, that's weird. Mm-hmm. But at least there's no blood relation, right? Right. And then you open up World Tour, and it's revealed that why Tom adopted Alex is because Alex's mom was his cousin.
Not even.
That's not good.
Or wait, no. I forget if that's in the arcade or not, but yes.
So the World Tour, reveals that, and people are like, oh God, it's also biological, because that means Patricia's his second cousin. Which is distant enough that it's legal, but nonetheless, we still, please don't, right?
It doesn't matter how distant it is. Any type of blood relation, that's a no. No.
Yeah.
No.
And then Capcom, people for a week or two were like, what the fuck? So Capcom releases, hey, people seem to be getting confused about this, so we're going to change the dialogue in the game. But until then, here's a short story to tide you over. We think it will clarify a lot of what people are worried about here. It'll make people understand. So it's a short story where after Alex and Patricia's wedding, Tom goes to a bar to get drunk with happy drunk tears. And he's talking to the bartender and he's going, oh man, I thought things were going to get rough for a little bit there because Alex, pretty well, as soon as he turned 15, he moved out on his own. He was living in a shed in the woods somewhere in a truck. And, Patricia, she got into a little dangerous stuff too. But then he came back and he's made a woman out of her. And, I would say he's like my adopted son, but no, he's just my son. And I'm so proud of him and my daughter. They make such a cute couple. Which leaves people going like, worse. It gets worse. Because they thought like, okay, don't worry. We've made it not creepy because Alex left home when he was a teenager. So if he left home for long enough, it's like they weren't siblings at all, right?
No.
But no. And it makes it worse that Tom, who up until this point was like not really involved in the scenario, and people were joking about Tom coming and going, you've done what? That no, actually, not only does he approve, he's extremely proud of it. And this firmly in his mind entrenches that Alex is not only his adopted son, but his biological son. And if memory serves, Tom outright says, man, I'm the luckiest man in the world. I've got a great son and a great son-in-law all in the same person.
Oh my god.
So the fact that Capcom was like, well, God, it's probably not Capcom. It's just a collection of a couple of writers and Capcom corporate's going to soon be coming like, what the fuck? But nonetheless, because I've got something to add there. I've already told Addie. But they were like, okay, people don't get it. They seem to misunderstand. They don't understand. No, they're brother and sister. They seem to be confused. They're mad. They must not understand that that this is what's great about it. But either which way, the part that I saw a YouTuber point out was going to be funny. Resident Evil 9 just came out. Resident Evil 9 heavily implies through a couple of Easter eggs. The next Resident Evil game that's going to come out is going to be a remake of Code Veronica. The villains of Code Veronica are an evil twin brother and sister who are blonde and snooty British nobility who are incestuous. And the game is like, oh, that's nasty. What fucking weird, depraved freaks these guys are. Kill them. So it's going to be the Resident Evil and Street Fighter sides of Capcom looking at each other from the opposite sides of the office and going, so you guys are up to some stuff, huh? Oh, shit. But Alex is also a fighting game character, believe it or not.
Don't believe it.
Oh, shit.
It is fine because he was murdered by Terry Bogard.
He did what needed to be done.
Yes. now he can slap Patricia's ass without being caught by the cops.
Now Patricia's ass is Terry's and Terry's alone to slap.
Yeah. What is it? What is it with Japanese fighting game characters who are American and blonde, and have blue eyes? I think both of them do. Just being like.
Does Guile not have blue eyes?
Who?
Does Guile not have blue eyes?
I think he does, but I didn't remember if Alex does. But either which way. What is it?
Thankfully, Guile's marriage isn't incestuous that I'm aware of.
I was gonna say, what is it with all of them being like weird sex perverts?
God, wouldn't that be the most brutal reveal of all time? Hey, did we forget to mention Guile and Ken aren't just brothers-in-law; they're also cousins,
and also lovers,
and also. Guile brought back Ken's apes, and Ken said, Guile, I know William J. Guile, I know just the way to thank you.
It's fine, though, because their relationship cannot produce children, so it's all okay.
Yeah, that's true. They're not contaminating the gene pool.
And then they release a short story where it's Kyle's wife going like, yeah, I love this.
Oh boy.
So yeah, I guess. Oh, yeah, Alex in the game. He is weird. He's alright. He's not really a grappler anymore. The Prowler stance could be less awkward. That's my opinions.
It's definitely very awkward. It takes a lot of getting used to, especially like they made the decision. They wanted Alex to stop being a charge character, but they still kind of wanted Alex to function as a charge character. So rather than just crouching down to charge up his stuff, now he has to press down and 2 punches and then do his stuff. It's really weird, and it messes with the muscle memory. Is what's brutal about it.
Yeah, I mean the thing that
he still has a good old time as a grappler, depending on the matchup. But there are definitely several matchups now where it's like, yeah, Alex doesn't want to do that.
Yeah. I mean, what fucks me up about it is that you cannot cancel movement with attacks from it in Prowler sense. So, like,
Oh, yeah, you can't cancel the little dashes.
Yeah, that's what fucks me up because it feels really bad.
Yeah, it's definitely pretty awkward. Yeah. Well, either which way, God, I the thing is, that's about all you need to say. Like, I appreciate that Alex now has more moves,
Yeah.
and I appreciate that. Hey, like they took several of the moves that sucked in Street Fighter V and made them good in a way that isn't just, oh, this is really great if you get a crush counter.
Yeah.
Because Alex had several moves in Street Fighter V that's like the only reason to ever use this is a crush counter. And Street Fighter 6 is like, hey, we finally gave Lariat something to do because now it gets armor. Oh, that's great. That's cool. Fucking Big Boot is a monster tool in that game. Alex is one of those characters. I've talked before about how Potemkin is weird because you play him in X2 or in Strive and he has monstrous reach on his buttons. And then you go back to Igzard and he's really stubby. And it fucks you up. Alex is now in the same place. Because Street Fighter 3, Big Boot, fantastic button. But you would not believe the reach. Street Fighter 6, monster button. It finds you wherever you are, the Big Boot does. Street Fighter 5, might as well be a jab. Might as well just be the world's slowest jab. And every time I play Street Fighter 5, Alex, I go for Big Boot as my poke. And then I suffer because it just doesn't reach.
The problem here is that you're playing Street Fighter 5.
Yeah. Oh, shit.
All right, well then, I guess that's all the stuff that we can really talk about because I don't know what else we can add to Alex.
Pink, if they make an Overwatch fighting game, who you maining?
Zenyatta, he's got the kicks. We know this.
That's true, he does. Addy, who you maining?
I mean, I've got to assume that with the character's gimmick that they would make Venture be a teleport character, like just Chip Zedov but underground. So.
Oh dear lord.
So they would be monstrous.
Yeah.
Alternatively, no mercy. No, those are my choices.
Oh shit! Does Mercy pistol whip people in the fighting game, or does she beat them with the staff?
I think she does bojutsu with the staff. Like her super is like the fucking super that Josuke the Two Balls has in All-Star Battle R, where like she gets a cinematic super where she heals the opponent up to full health and then she beats them to hell and then they die. Who are you picking in your Overwatch fighting game?
Junker Queen would have to be awesome, right? With knives and shit.
Yeah, maybe.
But who's the grappler who's the command grab character out of the Overwatch roster?
Mogo.
It's gotta be Roadhog, right?
Yeah,
Roadhog, yeah.
Roadhog and Mogo, I think.
Yeah. All right. Well, gentlemen, fighting games. What time period would you say they're at?
I think they were. I think.
I'd have to say fighting games were